Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is my perspective. Today's topic will be about forgiveness, but I don't really use the term forgiveness in my life, my world, my frame of mind. So I'm going to use the word forgiveness even though I don't look at it as forgiveness. Hope that makes sense. If not, keep on watching, y'all. It'll make sense. So in my life, I do things completely different. First of all, let's back up. For those of you who don't know, my 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 perspective, my way of living, everything is usually different than what a lot of people might consider. Now, it's not so different that some people don't be like, oh, okay, I see where she's coming from. It's just different. So another thing is to maybe help some of you who are into zodiac signs or whatever the case is. I am an air sign, number one. Number two, I am an Aquarius. A lot of people do confuse us with being like emotionally harsh. I'll say it like that. We are not emotionally harsh. We are not emotionally unstable. We are not void of emotions. We are the opposite. At least I am. So if you hurt my feelings, I'm going to look at it from every single freaking angle that I can look at it from. What were you thinking that you did this to me? Like, do you do this to other people? And so not only what were you thinking, would you do this to other people? If I was in your situation, would I do that? Would I ever do that? And so I'm looking, y'all, I'm looking from every freaking situation. I'm putting on all kind of shoes, standing in your shoes, standing in this person's shoes, standing in somebody's shoes who don't even know what's going on. Like, I'm looking all over. Am I being too sensitive or are they just being too freaking rude? And so that's how I look at situations, like tons of situations, just about every situation. And so at the end of the day, I look and I'm like, okay, some things can really hurt y'all. And when it really hurts, I have to sit back. Danielle, what lesson did you learn? This came into your life because you need to learn a lesson. What lesson did you learn? And so after I have learned my lesson, that is where other people may come and say that they forgive you, but for me, I don't look at it as I forgive you. For me, it is once the situation no longer hurts me to bring it up, then I have learned my lesson. I'm cool, I'm good, and I find value in whatever you did to me. No matter how much it hurt, I find value in it. I have learned my lesson. If it still hurts me to bring it up, or if I bring it up and I'm still angry, then I haven't fully accepted or learned the lesson that needs to be learned. That's just part of it, y'all. And so the other part is, let's say that there is a lesson that I have learned. So for me, I have a lot of family members that may not like the way that I live, may not agree with the way I live, or there's some who just don't like who I am, like stuff that's just out of my control. Maybe, who my bloodline is tied to, whatever the case is, they just don't like me. And so for those people, I don't spend that much energy and I just disconnect. Like, I may block you as a contact, and then because I change my numbers just about as often as people change clothes, you're not gonna stay connected to me anyway, so it's cool. But it's just the way that I process things. If you have no value to me, I don't care who you are. You could have been my best friend. You could be my family member. You can be whoever you want to be. If I find no value of or if I find no need to have you in my life, you are not in my life. And there's a lot of people who are just like, but that's your blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If you treat me like ish, like how does that show myself? How am I showing that I love myself if I am allowing you to continue to treat me like ish every single time? No. I don't roll like that. So for people who want to know, can you forgive and forget? Can you forgive and move on? Can you forgive and do this? Can you do this, and this? I have been through so much ish in my life. There are some people who, in your terminology, yes, you can forgive, but do you forget? No, like that's part of your freaking lesson. If you forget, they're going to keep doing it to you over and over again because you keep acting like you forgot. And it's just like, okay, well, let me steal $5 from you. I mean, can I borrow $5? And so you be like, yeah, you can have $5. And then you see them doing whatever they want to do. And then later on, they want to come to you and be like, hey, sorry, my bad. I don't have money to give you that $5, but I so freaking need $50. Can I borrow $50? And you're like, yeah. And so you might see them go buy a whole brand new freaking outfit that costs $200 just for the shoes, y'all. And they out there doing whatever they want to do and looking at you, and it's just like, hey, can I have at least 10 of my dollars back so that I could do X, Y, Z? Girl, you don't need that money. Oh, wait, what, huh? And so that's just an example, y'all. That's just an example. And so if you're in that situation and you keep putting yourself in that situation, it's like you are forgiving and forgetting, and you're letting them keep on doing that to you over and over and over and over again. Like, put yourself first. Think about yourself. Like, if you wouldn't do that to somebody else, why are you letting somebody do that to you? So, yeah, we don't forgive and forget. But if you want to forgive, don't let them keep doing the same thing over and over and over again to you. Because again, you're just letting yourself be somebody's freaking doormat, and that's not why we're here. And if you want to do that and live that kind of life, don't reach out. Do not put a comment in the comment section below for me, because I don't have nothing to say to you. Like, if you trying to get out of the situation, cool. But if you like being stepped on, please do not put anything in the comment section below. Yes, y'all, I have tried to help some people who they say that they forgive somebody and the person does something to them over and over again. For example, cheating. Somebody may come up to them and say, hey, I've been sleeping with your man. And it's just like, oh, and the person is hurt, like seriously hurt or whatever, but is still cool with being with the dude. And it's just like, okay. Maybe. And so it's just like, if you forgive and forget and it's all in the past, what if the person does it again and again and again and again? Like, why are you allowing that in your life? So it's just really confusing for me how some people forgive and forget. So yeah, y'all, if you want to forgive, cool, but don't forget. And so for me, I don't look at forgiving. I look at the lesson. What is the lesson that is learned? And a lot of times there are lessons that I have learned that turn into, you don't need to be in my life anymore. So there's a ton of people who are not in my life anymore. And a lot of times, even when I move, y'all, because I move frequently, when I move from city or state or whatever, when I move, I leave a lot of people behind because I am always leveling up, and a lot of people, they can't level up with me. And so I don't even have anything to say to you. Like, the conversations aren't even the same. Like, you couldn't even grasp how I live my life if you wanted to, because I grow in leaps and bounds all the time. So some of the stuff that we may used to talk about, or it used to be okay to do or whatever, not anymore. Even for some folks that, you know, I would go to church with and hang out with, like, we have nothing in common because you want to talk about church stuff. That's the last thing I need to hear about is church stuff, because it doesn't serve me. It just doesn't. So we have nothing in common. So why would I call you to say, hey, how you doing? Like, You're going to tell me how you doing, and then you're going to tell me all about the church and the pastor and what the lesson was and all this stuff. And like, it just, so yeah, again, y'all, I am not harsh. I am not any of that. I always seek my self-interest first. And so for me, if it means that I need to stop talking to you, then I will stop talking to you. You will hear nothing from me again. And I'm cool with that, because it's not like I'm staying on the same level. I am always elevating, always. And so, yeah, a lot of times there is nothing you can do for me. There is nothing that I'd be willing to do for you. So why would I talk to you? Because if you ask me for a favor, I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, there's one time where somebody had asked me to babysit, and I was like, okay, cool. So I went to go babysit. Y'all, there was somebody else in the house that could have babysat, like in that same house that could have babysat. And I was just like, why the hell am I here? Like, I told this person that I had plans, but they had nobody else that could babysit. And y'all, I was so freaking mad. I was so livid, y'all. And there was somebody else in the house that could have done it. And let's just be real. The other person that was in the house was the person's mother. So the person's mother could have not babysat, but just watched over their own child. And so like, I was so freaking mad because I had plans that I was doing with my daughter, but you called me in a frantic panic because you needed somebody to come babysit. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there. And so when I found that out, don't you ever, never call me to come babysit again, because I don't give two flying I don't. Because you had a resource that was in that house. You need to be like, hey, this your kid. Watch your kid while I go to the doctor. Whatever the case is. Watch your kid while I go to the store. While I go take a dump. Watch your kid. Like, y'all. So, yeah. For those of you who are just like, do I have to keep this person in my life? No, you don't. You don't. If that person is going to keep disrespecting you, keep stepping on you, keep not having any value for you and everything else, you don't have to keep them in your life. If you choose to keep them in your life, then that means you choose to allow them to keep giving you the same BS. If you set up boundaries and they still don't respect your boundaries, then yeah. But for me, there are some people who I don't feel I need to set boundaries up for. I feel like if you are that freaking disrespectful, that freaking rude, that whatever, like there's no need in me setting up a boundary. Like I don't even need to see you. I don't need to hear from you. I don't even need to read a text from you. Don't tell me happy birthday. Don't say nothing to me. Nothing. Don't even ask anybody how I'm doing. And yes, guys, that is something else that I do. And it's because I am hardcore about who I am. And so I have family members. Y'all, I think I talk to 4 or 5 family members. And so my family members that I do talk to, I'm like, hey, if anybody asks you how I'm doing, don't say nothing. I don't talk to them for a reason. They don't need to ask about me. They don't need to think about me. So, guys, so I know it sounds like I'm really harsh or things like that, but y'all just don't understand the roads, the paths, the everything. Like there was one kinfolk, and I had just moved to a city. And when I moved to that city, I was like, oh, I forgot that this person, so before we moved there, so we would alternate. Sometimes my daughter would pick where we're moving to. Sometimes I would pick where we're moving to. And my daughter had wanted to move at that time. My daughter wanted to move to Austin. And I was just like, I don't know. And so I was like, let's go to San Antonio. We can go to San Antonio. And so we had gone to San Antonio, and we had kinfolk there. And so it was like, oh, okay, we can go visit kinfolk. And so we would go visit kinfolk. And y'all, this was, anyway, so we go visit kinfolk, and kinfolk might have a dinner party, like a dinner party, y'all, like cooking all kind of food and having a whole table spread and barbecuing and everything, and having people over that were shoot, I don't know, how do you say uppity? Like, I don't know, but just like be on your best behavior. Like, don't come over in no jeans and a t-shirt type thing. And so it was just like, okay. And so I went over there, and there were some people that were cool. They seemed like they were cool. I really didn't know. This was my first time coming across them or whatever. And my aunt was just like, well, at least now y'all know who it is, because I slipped and said it, doggone it. But she was just like, can you believe that she's homeschooling her daughter? Like, I don't know. And she doesn't have any kind of education like that. Like, she's not a teacher. And she just went on, and she was putting me down like I was like the scum of the earth trying to homeschool my child. And she was just like, and I don't know how she thinks she gonna do it. And you know, just y'all, every negative thing that she could pull out about me, she pulled it out. And then she was just like, and then it's not like she's even doing anything for herself. Like, look at her and look at what she's doing. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, y'all, I was seeing who she was, like, in full color. Like, y'all remember In Living Color? Like, it was just like, oh my goodness, like, she is really saying this. And so I was like, maybe she don't, I don't know. And so I called my mama, and I was like, Mommy, blah, blah, blah was really talking about me, like really going in. And she was just like, really? And I was like, yeah. And so fast forward, you know, she was making it like she needed help, and, you know, she valued my level of intelligence and my maturity and all this other BS. And I say BS because I know who I am, but she was trying to pull some BS, like making it like she knew who I was. This heifer didn't know who I was. She probably called somebody to ask about my qualifications or something, like, because I didn't tell her anything about me. So she probably was asking around, and not too many people know too much about me because I don't share that. It's none of your business. And so she was saying something and made it like, you know, how do you do your money and blah, 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 blah. And can you teach my kids and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And y'all, anyway, that was really who she was. Like, she was really somebody who just liked to find out about you and put you down and make you feel like dirt and make you feel like you were nothing, like nothing, unless you were somebody that she felt could be on her level. And I can't even say financially because it's not even her money. Like, I don't know what her freaking deal is, but whatever it is, it was just like, you know what? I called my mom. I was like, hey, I'm done. I don't have nothing else to say to her. I ain't trying to go visit. I ain't trying nothing. And so it just stopped then and there. Like, don't call me. Don't text me. Nothing. I want nothing to do with you. And so that's how it is. It just happens. I mean, I can only take so much. And yeah, I was just like, you didn't even deserve an explanation. Like, for you to be family and you want to put me down in front of people who I didn't even know, like, there was nothing, y'all. And I am one of those people who, again, I am a quiet person. So for those of you who are like, well, why didn't you defend yourself? That is never my place to defend myself unless I am standing in the freaking court of law before a judge where I am my own lawyer. And yes, I have had to do that too. But unless that is the case, I am not about to defend myself to anyone. I am not about to prove my worth to anyone, because that is like me trying to get or beg your permission to be in your life. Shenanigans. That is not who I am. And if that's who you are, where you need to go to people to prove to somebody who you are, to like make them see your worth so that they can keep you around, y'all, you need to stay around. You need to put some stuff in the comment section below so I can teach you some stuff, because you are not here to basically beg other people or convince other people that they need to change their mind about who you are. Like, who is what? No. See, y'all, hold on. Y'all go watch the quiet people video if you need to. But yeah, just because I'm quiet, just because I don't stand up for myself or anything else, quiet people, we bring a whole lot of ish to the table. And even though we are quiet, trust, our brains are not quiet. We are always thinking. And if we are always thinking, we probably got some knowledge. It's not just air floating around. We bringing some stuff to the table, y'all. We can bring some stuff to the table, but we are not going to beg you to let us bring anything to the table. We will see if we have a place at the table. If we don't have a place at the table, we're going to take our ASS's on and we're going to eat at another table. And most of the time it is at our own table, all by ourselves, because a lot of people cannot relate. So before I go on a tangent, y'all, let me back on away from the camera. But y'all, to answer the question, forgiveness, yes, you can completely forgive people. But if you look at me and my life and all the examples that I have, a lot of times when I forgive, it is this lesson has been learned. And a lot of times those people are no longer in my life. It can range from friends to family members to whoever. They're not in my life because, again, it just goes back to what I just said. Y'all, I'm not here to ask, beg, or show my worth in your life. So if you don't find the value in me that I know that I have and that I know that I bring to the table, why do I need to be in your life again? No. You ain't gonna treat me like that. You ain't gonna treat me like some day old nasty ASS banana peel that need to be in the trash or wherever the case, in the compost being buried under some dirt. You ain't treating me like that. So yeah, it's time for me to see my way out of your life, and you do not have to contact me ever again. So whether that is who I am, a quiet person, an Aquarius, an air sign, whatever you want to call it, I know my worth. So know your worth. Just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that they need to stay in your life. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, words of encouragement, you need me to give you some advice on your situation, drop it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel to hear more interesting things, because y'all, yes, I live on the verge of where a lot of people live, and I have been doing this for a really long time. Like, if you have no place in my life, I will delete you. Like, I delete contact. Yeah, it's not a thing about, ooh, push ignore when they call. No, I don't even need to know when you call. So yeah, just be out of my life. And yes, before I end, I am that same person. I set up boundaries. One of my boundaries is you have to call before you come over. And there was a situation where somebody knew my rules and regulations, and I saw the person come. The person was ringing the doorbell, and I'm like, even my mama know to call me before she come over. I don't know who you think you are. Like, we don't even have that kind of relationship, and all you doing is coming over to be nosy. Like, no. So they left and they called my mama, and they was like, hey, I went to go visit Danielle and she didn't even open the door. And she was just like, did you call? And she was like, no, but I know she saw me and I knew she was home because I saw her cars and, you know, going on and on and on. I don't care if you see my cars. I don't care if you see me standing at the window, because that has happened before too. I have had the door wide open, sitting on the floor playing with my daughter, and somebody come knock on the door. Did you call first? Oh, trust that I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, because I have boundaries and they are set up for a reason. I don't want to talk to you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you are notified as soon as I upload a video. And I know y'all want to see me in your life on a regular basis. Until then, guys, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.